Right, what's up, everyone? Another live stream here with Andre from edgeful.
What's
We're
up?
all on the edgeful channel, so everyone should really know who you are. But for those watching on my channels as well, Andre is the founder and CEO of
Yep.
co-founder CEO of edgeful Data Company. Maybe just for those that don't know, just give a little bit of a brief background. As always, I think there's always one or two viewers that don't know.
Yeah. So a little background on myself. My background is in finance and accounting. I used to work at Goldman Sachs, left Goldman to start to pretty much build this company. And in terms of background of what edgeful does, edgeful is a data analysis platform for day traders. Pretty much the question that we're looking to solve with the entire platform is, for every time this happens, how often does that happen, right? So when you have these questions as you're going through of like, well, I see the IB high formed first, how often does the low break? Or how often does a Friday make the high of the week? How often does Monday make the low of the week? These are the types of questions that you can answer using edgeful and using data. So everyone knows that when you're trading, you can't like consistently trade with your emotions. It's just not going to work over time. The markets change, and the only way to keep an objective pulse on the market is to have the data to apply to your trading. And that's exactly what edgeful does. So
yeah, no, I think that's well put. I always like doing an introduction, bro. Even Orson always tells me, the guy, for those watching, one of the guys, business partner, he always says, James, you're in South Africa. Some people can't even understand your accent. Introduce yourself. But yeah, I actually have just taken a NASDAQ short actually because the opening candle on the NASDAQ was bearish. So we maybe speak a little bit about that. I've just taken a short. I'm in at 920, 25, 920. Nice. I've got a tighter stop. So you'll like this on with that. I've got a 50-point stop on that. So tighter than my usual, bro. Tighter than my usual.
50 points is pretty big, but a 50-point stop, you're going well above high of day.
Yeah, I don't want it to. With the CFDs, not the spreads aren't as sharp as the future, so sometimes like it can wick like 5 points, you know. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. So but yeah, I did take a loss on ES. I tried a short earlier below opening range low, but hopefully this puts me back on green on the day. We are looking. This is a nice bearish bar right now, which I do like. But deriving it from that opening candle being bearish on the Nasdaq today, the first hour. If I actually also share my screen, that would help.
Yeah, pull up your screen.
Let's go like this. So you can actually see over here. This is edgeful screener, which I actually use every single day. You can actually see more favoring the bearish continuation today. That's why I look like the ES shorts as well. I thought we were going to flush. We just bounce and then do literally the square root of nothing for an hour. But I like the shorts, as you can see. Let's refresh that. What's happening there? There we go. You can see the NASDAQ and ES both have bearish first hours. And that's what I like. If you actually go to let's also go over this over here. Opening candle continuation report. Okay. Look how I was actually looking at the NASDAQ pre-market on my pre-market stream. Andre, look at this. Pre-market here on the NASDAQ. I went over this report. So for those that don't know, make sure to join me for pre-market as well. You see, now it is taking a little bit of time to load. That's interesting.
Yeah, so just so everyone knows, we just released a major upgrade to the interface of edgeful. And what has happened is it's causing a lot of load speed issues, which we're obviously fixing, but
this wasn't happening pre-market, just to let you know. But that might have been before you guys were up. You know, I'm on all day. By the time New York session comes, it's already 4:30 p.m. South African time. But look at this. Opening candle continuation on NQ in the last 6 months. So what this report does is it measures the open price from 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. If it is bullish, if the price closes above that 9:30 open, it's bullish and you want to look for longs. If it's bearish, you obviously want to look for shorts because the stats say that is a great probability of that happening. Let's have a look at that. So if you go to in the last 6 months, first hour bullish, 79% of the time will close as a bullish closing day, and vice versa for the short, 72. This is on NQ.
Yeah.
Look, the last time that this failed, bro, was like a week and a half ago. Look at that on the 5th. Every single day in the last, it's gone like on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 day streak where that's respected. So this is my entry on the NASDAQ. My stop I have at 980. Someone's asking in the chat, Trim the Trader. I like that name. I was going to go with James, the bald-headed trader, but it's a bit too TSLA. But yeah, my stop's at 980, and I was in at 920 as I
Really,
mentioned. I really like
entry,
this trade. Look how this is the 15-minute time frame. Something that I've been doing as well, Andre, is zooming out to my time frame. I haven't really been looking at the 1 minute and that as much anymore.
Yeah.
But we've had slowing down here and now respecting opening range high with that opening candle continuation. So I like it. What are your thoughts?
I think it's a good trade, dude. I think it's a good trade. I have the IB up here right now. And I mean, also as crazy as it is, the IB, the price did pull back very deep into the IB, but again, also the double break data here. So if we go to the regular initial balance on NQ, price only breaks both sides of the IB 20% of the time. So that would mean that it's very unlikely that price actually ends up breaking this high. It's more likely that price not necessarily will come back to a new low of day, but it is more likely to do something like this than something like that, right? Or in this case, actually something like this, right? Sure. Because the double break of the IB is it's not very likely. Now, ES did break both sides of the IB, but it doesn't mean that NQ is going to. The only thing here is that we have that bearish confluence to the downside on the opening candle and the initial break to the downside of the IB here. So I do like the shorts here, especially as ES is kind of starting to fail this continuation of the top side. And the only thing really is I think Meta is really dragging up the market right now. Everything else is either consolidating or down. It's nice that NVIDIA is kind of rolling over here.
Yes,
but
I saw that.
As long as Meta starts to kind of flush back into the range that was set, I think you got a really nice trade here.
Yeah. We'll see what we can get. I do like it. Is also coming off the previous day's highs as well, which I do like that level. So we'll keep you guys updated. But yeah, let's go over the new Watson play, Andre.
So what I want to do actually first is I want to go over some of for anyone who's new, you are in luck because you're not used to the old platform. For anyone who's been around for a minute, you're gonna have to get used to it. And I understand that's annoying, but you'll get used to it, I promise. The most important thing is that we've changed this sidebar here. So it starts out with custom templates. I'm going to go into this in a second. Then we have our reports. So we have the IB, we have the sub-report selection and customization. So we've grouped together all the report information here. So the report, sub-report, and customization. Then below we have ticker and time frame. So we have NQ, whatever it is. We actually collapsed the asset and ticker into one button. So now you can just switch right over here. We have the date range in the session. So we've compacted the way the sidebar works. I'm sure most of you are used to having the customization down at the bottom. I promise you will get used to it. But I really want to lean right over here for now is the templates. So one of the things that's it takes like a lot of clicks, to be honest. So right now I'm on the IB by rejection report, for example. We recently added a customization that will allow you to pretty much determine, let me pull up my trading view here, pretty much determine what side is more likely to break based on where the IB ended, right? So if it ends up here, I'll go to a different, this is like not the cleanest example here. Here's actually a much better example. Okay. Yep. So I'm going to go to a 5 minute just so it looks a little bit cleaner. And all right. So I'm going to put on the midpoint of the IB on my indicator. And what you can see is that obviously this is the initial balance range. Here's the midpoint. And you can see the IB finished at this yellow line, which is below the midpoint of the IB, right? At 10:30, price was below the midpoint. That's actually going to potentially drive whether you think the high is formed first, like is it going to continue down or is it going to continue up? Sure. Right? If you want to know the details of this report, just scroll down. We have a full video on exactly how it works. I highly recommend it. Play it on 2x speed. It's totally fine. The point of the templates, though, is that we have customizations. So if I go over here and I click customize, you're going to see that there are 6 different options for my customizations. If I know that I want to look at the same things over and over again, I should not have to click and click and click and click to get to the customization I want, right? So in this case, what we're doing here is we allow you to save a template. What the template does is it will automatically set the settings for you in just one click. So you can see here, I have all days. The IB ending zone is set to all days. Instead of 1, 2, 3, and 4, what I'm going to do here, so it's still on all days, I'm going to go to my template here. IB rejection above midpoint. Click. Right? And then now my customization. So I've saved myself 4 or 5 clicks just by having it saved over here. Now I want to go back to the default. I don't care about where it closed. Click once here. Now you can see I'm back to my all days over here.
Yeah.
Same thing goes for the IB by levels, right? Or I'll actually show you first how to create a template. That's obviously super important. Let's say that I want to check this on a 30-minute IB instead, right? Something I haven't done before. I'll go over here. I'll click 30-minute, click save. And then just give me a second while this loads. Okay, so as it's loading here, what you're going to see is that up here in the left sidebar, I have my save as new template. You can see that I'm not currently viewing a template because it says custom not saved right over here. I can pick from a template over here or over here. But the important piece is I can click save as new. So IB rejection 30-minute. And now I have my 30-minute pre-selected and I have all days. Everything else is standard. So I can click save. Right? Now, where did this go? Right over here. So I can switch with one click the IB time frame from the default. Right now I'm on the default, which is right over here. You can see this here, 9:30 to 10:30. I can switch with one click to 9:30 to 10. So the process of a user on Edgeful is very, like you go through this very similar routines. The templates over here are going to help you make your routines more efficient, right? You want to go and test certain things differently on different tickers or different time frames. You're going to be able to instantly switch back and forth with just one click instead of 5 or 6. Does anyone have questions on that? James, do you have questions on that?
No, I like it, bro. You guys are always improving and innovating, which I really enjoy. It does keep us on our toes as users because we always got to know what's up and see how
I know.
This thing used to be here, now it's here, but I like it, bro. The user interface is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, we make small changes that over the course of a year make a really big difference. And it's actually funny what I'll do. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second because I want to show you guys something, which is like hilarious to look at now. But
yeah, oh, you got the old designs. Yeah,
I have the old designs. I want to show you guys the old designs,
dude. For those watching, and I know Jace is in the chat here as well, which we had some nice longs together on Monday on YM. But I've been around since Edgeful even was available to the public, so I've seen it all.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah,
and I just want to.
I think I hate that stage when you first messaged me.
What's up? You had
I hate that stage when you first messaged me. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, bro. That was December 2023.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to share my screen.
Any questions in the chat? Trim the Trader, Jace, any questions in the chat?
I just want you guys to see this. This was the old platform. James, do you recognize this?
Dude, I do, but it was a while ago.
It was a long time ago. This was the old.
My goodness, platform. Yes. On the left-hand side, it was yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yes, and the tick, yeah. Just go to that again, actually. Let's see. Yeah.
The sub-reports used to be here. Do you remember that?
Yes. That's wild, dude. I don't even.
You don't remember
crazy. That? I do remember it. Obviously, I used to tweet about the stuff all the time. Of course, I have to remember, but like, it's wild how different it looks.
It's come a long way, but the issue with the navigation.
There was no screener, no
screener. We didn't even have futures.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the issue with the old design was that these buttons, like, they can only go so wide. So it kept like going into 2 rows, and the sub reports kept going into 2 rows. So we had to put it in the sidebar in a drop down. But yeah, this was the old page. Like, this is what it looked like. It was not great.
Yeah.
But the reason I bring this up is because we make these small changes that, like, what seems like you blink and it's a completely different site. So like, individually, none of the changes make that big of a difference, but over time, over the course of 6 months, it does make a big difference. So yeah, but so that's the templates, right? The only other thing that I want to talk about with the templates is that it will always preset. If you can see my mouse right over here, it'll always preset to this report, the templates that you're on for the report that you're on, right? If I click all templates, it will show me all of the templates that I have made, right? In their little folders, you can see all the templates that you have made. So for example, if I'm on the gap fill report and I want to change my gap fill percentage to 100%, with one click, I can change it. Right now I'm at 100%. If I want to change to 65%, I can click. Now it's 65%. Instead of clicking 1, 2, 3, 4,
that's cool.
Right? It's a lot of clicks after a while. Like, you add that up over changing to 6 or 7 reports across I don't know how many tickers. Like, it makes a difference. It adds up in like time throughout the year. Funny enough, actually, I'll tell you guys a story about when I worked at this hedge fund. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with Excel, Microsoft Excel, but you can use the entire platform with just your keyboard. You do not need to use the mouse at all when you're using Microsoft Excel.
Story. Yeah.
There is a shortcut for every single command that you can do in Excel.
That's crazy, dude.
Now, what they did when they were training us, where they would take away the mouse from the computer, because what they wanted us to do is to learn how to use all the shortcuts, because the time that it takes for you to take your hand off the keyboard, put it on the mouse, click on the item you want, click again to the thing you want to select, move your hand back to the mouse, to the keyboard, and then start typing again, over the course of a year, over the course of a career, adds up to be like days or weeks. So if you just learn the shortcuts, it will actually, I mean, in this case, this is the idea of the templates. It will save you so much time, not over the course of one day, but over the course of a year, 2 years, or 3 years, which is why we want to make everything less clicks, a lot easier to navigate.
Sure. Yeah, that's wild, dude. Like, they taught you that just because they know it would save so much time. But that's what it is now. It's about efficiency, I guess.
Yeah. But that's it for the update. There's really not much else in terms of what to talk about.
Yeah.
This is the update for the month. I'm sure we'll have a lot more. And
let me leave you guys with this. So if you aren't subscribed to my channel or edgeful's channel, my Twitter, edgeful's Twitter, Andre's Twitter, hit the follow, subscribe buttons. And then just in terms of edgeful streams, I stream Mondays and Fridays live 9 a.m. With Andre, Mondays and Fridays, 9 a.m. Eastern time. And then on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, Mr. Zink streams live. And then I stream pre-market live. So, that's why you would know if you watch the stream, I said I would like a move higher and then maybe a move off of it. That's why I'm short NQ at the moment. That's literally what I said in pre-market. So join that. Am I going to get it right every single day? Of course not. But that's why I'm just trusting the data. The opening candle continuation is red. So I like the shorts. I like the price action for shorts.
You're doing really well.
I'm in the money, bro. Yeah, I'm up at the moment. I am
50 points.
Yeah, 50 points. But I think this could go lower. So I'm gonna trim a little piece at opening range low when we get there, hopefully. And then I'm gonna see if we can I can get a little bit of bigger mover on this. But let's see. But we're trading now underneath New York session VWAP. Let's add this to the stage quickly. Underneath New York session VWAP, which is that blue one. So I like using Orb and VWAP along with edgeful data, which I always think you should. Edgeful data is great, but you got to learn to find your own entries as well.
100%.
An entry with the data. So I like the shorts. The first hour short I took a loss first on ES, and now hopefully this puts me green on the day. But this is looking really, really nice. I'm on the 15-minute time frame here. So that's my trade right now. But yeah, so pre-markets Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday as well. So last pre-market and then live streaming tomorrow. And you on tomorrow, Andre, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Right. So I'll give you an update on my trades. Normally what I do in my pre-markets, I go over the trades that I took from the week, why I took them, wins and losses. You know, it's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows, but share it all. And then we'll see you guys on stream tomorrow. Appreciate you guys. And have a good one. Yes, sir. Cheers, guys.
Have a good one. Bye.